Parashat Chayei Sara. This week Parashat Chayei Sara. It's very interesting. The name of the parasha, that in itself needs a very good explanation, because the parasha talks about the death of Sara, but the name of the parasha is Chayei Sara, life of Sara. Because Chachamim tell us that Rishonim b'chayim geruyim metim, v'sadiqim b'mitatan geruyim chayim. A Rasha, a wicked person, even while he's alive, his life is death. Because in Torah's view, life is eternality. Life is not a matter of seconds that passes by. Life is the matter of eternality. Life is the matter of being kone the olam. There is a very interesting dialogue between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the person that was about to die. Hashem told him that, now it's time to go. He says, what? It's too early. I had a lot of plans, a lot of things to do. Hashem says, no, you have to go. He says, oh, now what? Is it any way to discount it? He said, no, we have to go. Hashem had the luggage for him. He says that, what is inside? Towards the HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem said, let's guess, if you could guess what is inside. He says, maybe my utensils, my things that I need. He said, no. These things you need only for this world. For that world, you don't need these things. Then he thinks that. He says, maybe it's wife and children. He said, no, they belong here. Your relationship is here. Then he says that maybe it's my goof, my body, it would be there. He said, no, the goof goes to the offer. Then he says, it may be my neshama. He said, no, neshama goes to Kisah Kabut. Then he goes and further. He says, whatever that he says, the HaKadosh says, no. Then he says, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, what is there? What is this luggage? He says, open it. It opens it, it's empty. He says, what? I got nothing to take? He says, yes. Because the real asset that you take with your wife is moments. The moments that you use properly, you take them. Every second, every moment. Every moment, a person should buy eternality. If it buys eternality, that moment goes to that luggage. If that doesn't buy eternality, it would be wasted. And Vayihu, the word, Chayei Sara, life of Sara, 100 years, 20 years, and 7 years. Shene Chayei Sara, the years of life of Sara. Now what means Vayihu? What's a Vayihu? So that Sara lived 127 years. What's Vayihu? Now the gematria of Vayihu is, if you notice, the gematria is 37. Now the real Chayei Sara was 37. Now why the real life of Sara was 37? 37 that he had Yitzchak. Now why the real life is having the Yitzchak? Because the real life is the life that Sara produced Kahal Israel, produced eternality. Yitzchak is not a child. Yitzchak is somebody who produces Kahal Israel. The real life of a person is to create eternality, to create continuity of life, of eternality. That's why he used 37 Chayei Sara. Now, why did he say Shana for all of them? Now, let's see Rashi. That's why it's written years for each one of them. Each one, you can darish for itself. Now, he says Shana for 100, says Shana for 20. Why say it Shana for both? Usually, Torah says only one Shana or 2 times. We don't find that Torah says 3 times. Here Torah says 3 times to make it the Rasha. That 100 is like 20 lechet. What does 20 lechet means? 20 means that Bet Din Shamayim doesn't punish a person to 20-year-old. Before 20, Bet Din Shamayim is not considering the average that he does. Now, the file of Sara was clean when he was 100 as if he was 20. Therefore, she measured everything that she did. She measured any act, any thought, anything. That's Sara. Ma bat kav lo chata, shari ena bat onshin, abat kuf lo chata. In other words, it's not bat onshin, kuf also the same thing. In other words, if say that innocent girl of 20, that's not punishable, the same thing. Ubat kav ki bat zayin. Now, how would the person would do that? Somebody who is careful. Somebody who tries to keep his record clean. Somebody who tries to keep his record clean stays clean. Somebody who doesn't care, it becomes full of condemns. Ubat kaf kebat zayin liyofi. And 20 like it's 70 as beauty. Now what is the beauty of 70? 7-year-old? what's the beauty of seven? See, a child, first is a potential. That potential comes about. Once it comes about, it gets a direction. From the 7 to 20, it gets a direction how to be developed, and in future would use that. See that you go to somebody's house and see such a nice boy, that's like girl. She's very disciplined, very order, very regulation, everything. She was trained properly. Now she's going to use that tool for the rest of her life. But somebody, the tools were given, but he uses in the wrong way. In other words, till 20 is the development of a person. Now he's saying that but kafke bazayin, all of that potential that was given to her by 70 shined up, wasn't wasted, didn't go in vain. Some people, they have a lot of potential, that potential would be wasted, not being used, the talent, the kovach, the strength. But here was used properly, all potential came out to be whatever that they are. It's very interesting, the Midrash says that once the Levychaim was giving it to Russia and saw that people, at the time of the Russia, what happens? People fall asleep. Therefore, now what's the remedy for that? Levychaim found the remedy. What did he do? He says, the Midrash says that Sara lived 127 years. And through her life of 127, they had a granddaughter, after Dorot, was Queen Esther. Queen Esther became queen over 127 countries. What type of zechut Queen Esther had to be queen for 127 countries? The zechut got from Sara, because Sara lived 127 years. And everybody got the message, nobody fall asleep anymore. Now, the Prophet said, what's pshat? What did Levychaim say at that time this? He says like this. How did Esther were zoche to 127 years? Because every year of life of Sara accomplished one country. They were half a year, half a country. One day, 365th of the country. 1 hour, fraction. 1 second, that fraction. We are on the mood, we are on the mood of the seconds. Every second you could capture or you could not capture. Every second you could make it eternal or you cannot make it eternal. Therefore, he was pointing out to them, Sara used, like say, Chayei Sara. That was the life, years of life of Sara. Every year was full of accomplishment, full of accomplishing. And that was Chayei Sara. Kulan Shavin Letova. Rashi says, Kulan Shavin Letova. What's Kulan Shavin Letova? All are the same. The life of a person has up and down, up and down. Most people, they act well when they are up, because everything is good, everything is good. The greatest of a person would be shown when it's down. How does he act? How does he behave? How does he do? That he kicks to everything, and he's an angry man, nobody could talk to him, nobody could deal with him, or he could control himself. Now he says, Kulan Shavin Letova. Sara also had up and down in her life. She did have children for 90 years. And it's raised for a lady, to have children. Then she had Hagar. Hagar looked down at her because she became pregnant. There were a lot of up and down. She was taken to Paro. But Kulan Shavin Letova. Because all had one direction. What was the direction of life? To become accomplished in life. To do the Ratzon of Hashem, to be Eved of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Atamot Sara beGilat Arba. Sara died in Gilat Arba, Hebron. Beretz Kenan, Avraham restored Sara Berekotah. And Avraham came, he spoke to eulogize Sara and to cry for her. Livkotot, the kaf is written small. Now everybody is interested to find out why kaf is written small. Now, Rashi says, Atamot Sara beGilat Arba. In other words, how come? What's the connection between death of Sara and the last parasha Akedat Yitzchak? Because Rashi says, when it was telling him that he died, he went for Akedah before telling him that he wasn't Nishchat, Sara Parcha Nishmata. That's the way that Rashi learns, Mena Meta. Therefore, death was because of the Akedah. Now, it's very interesting that unbelievable point. Avraham had 10 tests, and this test almost is the end. Now the Akedah was the greatest one. Remember, when you have at the end of the year, you pass all of your tests, You feel like a free man. You feel that you did it, you accomplished. You feel that the sun should shine for you. Life is for you. The world is for you. Now here, our Avraham passed all of the tests. And nobody said that he failed in any of them. He did all of them properly. Now, what would the person expect? Person would expect that after accomplishing and achieving all of these tests, now the sun should shine for him. Would be a nice, nice palace for him, nice place for him. Therefore, a person to enjoy and to, to say, wow, I accomplished. Now I'm called to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He looks at the world. All of the world, they don't believe in HaKadosh Baruch Hu. They don't believe in Hashem. And he's bringing faith to the world. Now, he comes back from the last test that he had. What does it say? It's a tragedy. Losing his wife. Unbelievable test in one's life. In other words, if Abraham would have thought whatever that he did was his accomplishment, I did it, then he cannot confront something like that. When it comes to this point, what does he want to do? He will go crazy. He will go crazy. See, a lot of times we learn Torah, we feel the story. Torah is not interested to tell us a story of life. It's a story of reality of life. Reality of life. Somebody comes to me and says, Rabbi, I gave so much tzedakah. I helped so many people. I'm learning this and that. Is it fair that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is doing that to me? Is it fair that Hashem is dealing with me like that? Is it fair that this should happen like that to me? I did all of these things. This is the problem. This is the perspective. I did it. I did it. Whoever says I did, somebody says that I'm the best father in the world. You don't know how much I do for my family. I say this statement is grave. It's digging his grave. Somebody says, do you know this community? I built up this community. I made this community whatever that is. Came here 40 years ago, 50 years ago. I made it. This is my accomplishment. He's digging his grave. Because the Mishnah says, when you do something good, don't give credit to yourself. Right. You were created for that. It's just the opposite. On the contrary, person would feel that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is a privilege. Hashem gave me all of these privileges. I don't know how to thank you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. I don't know how should I repay to you, Hashem. Not that I did it. No, expectation goes higher in life, in everything. And if a family, somebody, I did so much, one of the members of the family does something, he blows fuse. The life is game over. It's the Third World War. No, come and make peace between them. No, this is the perspective of life.
Honor where ego.
Perspective of life is that if somebody accomplishes something like Avraham Avinu, he passes all of these tests and he comes. And when he comes and he has to eulogy for his wife, cough is small because the Mefarshim say he cried a little bit because he didn't want to show to other people that they would think that since she died through Akedah, he's regretting it. He didn't regret for a second. He said that this is the Ratzon of Hashem, I'm going to do it. Now, there's another pshat, when kaf is written small, means as if kaf is not there. Now, if the kaf is not there, how do you read it? Velebeta. He cried for his home. Why? Because Mefarshim say, as long as Sara was alive, the light of Shabbat was lit from the prayer of Shabbat to Erev Shabbat. That brightness of home, that light that comes to somebody's home is through his wife. And then the beracha in the Isa. We associate ladies with shopping and buying stuff and buying and spending the money of husband. Chazal relate a lady to beracha in Isa. That's a blessing of doing boy isha ba beracha. But wife came beracha. I don't know, maybe Chazal had a different view for the 21st century's ladies. But no, Torah tells us the real beracha of home is through lady. The happiness of lady, the joy, being content. That is the greatest happiness at home, and that's the real beracha. Beracha is not as matter how much you have. The beracha is how content you are. And the third thing is, we feel Abraham brought the faith, brought the emunah, and the cloud was on the tent, we feel obviously Avraham was cause number one cause of it. But once Sara died, Chazal tell us that glorious cloud went away. Unbelievable. Avraham, he's the one who brought HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he's the one this, but without wife, you don't have Kedusha, you don't have Tahara, that Shekhinah is not there. All was lost. Therefore, Livdeta, he cried for her home, his home. Now, Sara died Begirat Arba. He died Girat Arba. There was a city called Arba. Why? Because there were 4 Anakim there, 4 giants there, father and 3 sons. That's why it was called Girat Arba. So interesting, ironic, that he has to be buried in a place that there are 4 giants. Giants that they have a goof, that the body is like the Mefarshim say they were giants. In other words, like the Torah says, that Rahal Israel, the 12 Meragelim, they felt like a grasshopper in front of them. Now, unbelievable. She would be buried in a land that the giants live. To say, you see the goof, you see the body, you see the what is being built, all goes at the end of the day to offer. No matter how great you are, no matter how much you build up, finally you end up to Kiryat Arba. Now, Hebron. We know that the place that was buried Avraham was called Hebron. Why is it called Hebron? Hebron comes from the word of Chibur. In other words, we have an idea, the Goyim have an idea of burial place, you live it there and that's it. It's the end of it. We don't know. We are mehaber. Just like when a person is living on this earth, is the Chibur of Kuf and Neshama, and that gives the Chiyut. In burial place also there is the Chibur. There is the Chibur between the Kever and Shamayim. Hebron is mechaber, that makes the chibur between the grave and Shamayim, which is Neshama, both together. They're going to be ready for a war to come that's much greater. That's called Hebron. Be'eretz Canaan, in the land of Israel, we want to say this Sadeket, what? Chibur. Chibur, connection. Chibur means connection. Therefore, Hebron means it connects. It's not as a burial place, you live in there. No, Chinese, Japanese, a lot of them, they burn the body. Because they say that you're going to get rid of it. It becomes ashes. There is nothing. But no, we bury our place, we make the connection. Connection with it. Be'eretz Canaan, that was the zechut of Sara to be buried in Eretz Canaan. There is a special zechut to be buried in Eretz Canaan. I asked Rav Shmuel Kamenetsky, last few weeks somebody asked me, he wanted to go to Israel to be buried, but he said it would be tircha for my children, to come and visit for everything. What is better for me to do? I asked Rav Shmuel Kamenetsky and he told me that's better not to matriach the children. Even though that there is privileges and there is a lot of advantages to be buried in Israel, but the cost of not letting children to come and visit, and it's a sar for the children, is not worth it. But here Torah tells us, Sara Imenu was zoche to be buried in Israel. Avraham, this word is Avraham. Avraham Gadab, Mal Pene Beto, from the face of his dead. Spoke to Beneche. Now, what does mean Vayagam Avraham Me'al Penecheto? What does Me'al Penecheto mean? Me'al Meto. What's Pene? Face. Why should we say face of his dead? What's the face? Now, Mefarshim say that Satan went to the face and says, I'm dead because of Hakedat Yisrael, because of you, because of your Nisayim, because of you. Why? Because we daven every day. Satan in Arabic we say that Hashem should remove Satan from in front of us, from the back of us. Front of us we could understand, because he comes in front of us to block, to put blockage, to make it that we should not do the Torah mitzvot. What's Ma'acharenu? Ma'acharenu, we went already, we passed it, we passed the stage. What's the Satan? Remove Satan Ma'acharenu? The Farshim say that Satan comes front and back. Front comes obstacles, that doesn't let us do the mitzvah. Back comes when you did the mitzvah, after that he comes to make you regret doing the mitzvah. A lot of times we hear, I shouldn't have done this mitzvah. I came to help him see what happened. A lot of times a person regrets the mitzvah that he did. Now Mefarshim said, there is a delete in computer. When a person regrets from the mitzvah that he did, they delete all of the mitzvah that he did. They worry, Satan tried very hard after that thought should not happen. The Midrash says last week parasha, he came step by step, he didn't let Avraham to move. Now after Agadah he comes Mal Penei Meto, he comes the face of the dead, and says that, this akedah caused that. You lost your wife because of that. But my Yaqam Avraham. See, that's the way to fight with the Sara. It's below my dignity. I get up. I'm not so cheap to be like that. This is below my dignity. Yaqam Avraham got up. I'm a stranger and resident with you. Give me a position of the grave where you are placed with you. That I should bury my dead from before me. Now, it's very interesting. It says ger betoshav. Ger means stranger. Toshav means resident. Now, why does it say both? Rashi says ger toshav anochi imachem. Ger meres acheret neshavti imachem. I'm a stranger from another land, and I came and I resided myself here. Therefore, I'm part of residency of the city. Give me burial place. Now, midrash agata im tisu hareni ger. If you want, I'm a ger stranger. V'im rav ehiyeh toshav v'tena min adin. Shom alach v'shmur chutzarach v'ten taharis azur. If you don't give it to me, mitzadatin, I have this land. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu told me that it's going to give me this land. Very interesting, Rashi, that ger v'toshav is talking in two different directions. If you want, I'm a converted, give it to me. I'm a stranger here, give it to me. If not, I'm a toshav. That I should bury my dead body milefonai. Vayanu benechet, therefore he told benechet, that Avraham, they told him. Now, they heard that he said, I'm a girl, and said, tenuli, give it to me. They felt that he's saying that, I'm nobody, nothing, I don't have anything here, and you should give me as a matana. Shema'enu. Now listen to the Goyim, how they talk. Later it has, Adoni, my Lord, Nesi Elohim, a prince of God. You are not a girl, you are a prince. Ata betochenu. The best choices of our Kibro, somebody from us, et Kibro, his Kibro, he doesn't withhold from you, mikibor metecha, from burying of your dead. Very interesting. Nobody from us withholds. Unbelievable policy. Unbelievable policy. They say there was a city that there were 10 people in the city, and every day they had a minyan throughout the year. Every day. What happened? Once somebody came to join the city. Now everybody felt there are still 11 people here. What happened to the minyan next year? Nobody showed up. Because everybody thought about somebody else's doing. Therefore, whenever you hear nobody would withhold, means everybody withhold. Because nobody is responsible for the thing. Therefore, nobody would do the job. Therefore, any time that we have one person in charge of something, the best policy always is to tell them that nobody will withhold. Therefore, now, at the end of the day, who will give it to me? Nobody. Now let's see Avraham talk to them. He bowed down to Avraham. Respect. The erecheres we have to keep. No matter what people do. Even if people act like a garbage, you cannot lose yourself. When a person talks lack of derecheres, it's not the point that I'm treating them. You're treating yourself. You're making yourself below your dignity. Somebody was fighting with somebody and he said words that, I told him, you're a bentorah. This word doesn't belong to your mouth. Somebody who learns, somebody who davens, somebody who talks to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he would let this word. Told me, Rabbi, this is in the kollel, it's in the shul, it's in the his. But these people are garbage. If I don't talk to them like that, they're not going to do the job. I have to be like a garbage with them. With the garbage, you are a garbage. That's wrong. It's wrong. It's not the way that you treat him, the way that you treat yourself. Because you have to understand, if you deal with the garbage as a garbage, the smell of garbage stays with you. What do you think? You think you're going to become garbage and that's it? Nothing stays with you, you change and wash and come out. No! Somebody who becomes a garbage can, at least the smell stays with him. There is an impact with you. It's not the point that how you treat him, how you treat yourself. Therefore here, Avraham keeps the kavod, respect, and that was one of the somebody should learn. That was one of these nisyonos. We saw it. At that time, that the tragedy, wife died, and they were trying to abuse him and take advantage of him. if you really want that I should milefanai, Shema'enu, listen to you, make you one person in charge. I don't want everybody to be in charge. I want his cave yard. And you should give him the cave of Machpelah, that he has in the end of his study, with full money in other words, I give you full price, it should give it to me in your meat, for a possession of the grave. Now, that was part of his desire in Avraham. The Baruch who told him that you're going to have all of this land. Now he needs a piece of land for his wife, and he has to go through all of these things. That also is part of the story of life. See, Mr. Sharim says, our life here is not for anything except to be omed in test. It's an unbelievable perspective in life. When you feel this is my test, then you approach the things much different. If you feel this Ephron or this Benechet, you see, how are they dealing with it? Like a baby, this and that. Or, no, it's not this. It's HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem is creating tests. It's not the question of Reuben. It's not the question of Shimon. It's not this statement that my son is telling me. It's not a statement that my wife is telling me. It's a nisayon for me. How am I going to deal with myself? How am I going to deal with HaKadosh Baruch Hu? It's not a question of this. It's just of Hashem. Therefore, that he understood is the nisayon. Okay, whatever that HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants, I go with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, when he was serving the guests, last week parasha by Malachim, he ran after Bakar. Midrash says that he ran. When he went to this cave, and he saw, wow, this is the cave about Amarishon and Chabar there. That's where that he found the place. Now, this is called Machpelah. Now, Rashi is bothered why this cave is called Machpelah. Machpelah comes from the word of kafal. Kafal means folding. What is cave of folding? What is it about? Rashi says, it was a house and a balcony. That's why it's called folded. Because the balcony is on top of the bayit. Now, the metaphor of that is that the best place for grave is the bayit and balcony. Why? Because bayit and balcony says that the word are two levels, or not one level. In other words, if you put in a graveyard one level, you say, okay, that's life. But what's the best metaphor for Betakevarot? The way that we believe is the connection lemala, bayit ve'aliyah. In other words, it's not one-story building, it's two-story building. In other words, you go and buy something you want to buy, they tell you, one-story building, there's a kitchen here, this and that's it. Yes. There's a two-story, and you go first one, and you see. You say, I want to go on second. See, no, for the second you need a special pass. Not everybody could come there. Pass is after death, the person goes up there. Therefore, that's the idea that, people alive and death, all is in one building. First floor, second floor. All of us, we are working to bring Mashiach. Or, Machpelah comes from the kafur. Kafur means pair. There are pairs of zugot there. There are 4 zugot that are going to be buried there. Now, it's very interesting. Gaon points out, now another point from Machpelah, Midrash says Machpelah, why it's called Machpelah? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu folded Adam Harishon and buried him there. Machpelah comes from Kafa. That's why Adam and Chava were there. He folded Adam Harishon and he buried him there. He buried him there. Folded Adam Harishon and buried him there. Now, it's very interesting the idea of folding Adam Harishon and burying it there. Because see, Adam has 2 parts into him. One part Elyonim, one part Tachtonim. One part of a person is full of Gashmiut, full of from above his waist is more Ruchni, lower his waist is more Gashmiut. All is materialistic, all is Gashmiut, all these things. Person is alive, is the Kuma, the Kufa. It's straight. And the straightness means that the person has to make the Elyonim over the Tachtonim. The person has to have control of his taiva, his desires. And that's Adam. Animals are not like that. Animals are, straight. Because they don't have that control. They don't have that system of... Now, when a person dies, it's very interesting that in the goof, both become alike. In In other words, as long as the person has neshama, the elyonim, the part of the higher part of the body, has a higher darga than the lower part. Because of the neshama, because of the kovach of understanding and connected to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But when a person dies, these two becomes folded together. Because now that superiority, that advantage, that privilege that the higher part had over the lower part is gone. Therefore, that's why the Midrash is alluding to that HaKadosh Baruch Hu folded Adam Harishon and buried him. That's why it's called Marad HaMachpelah, Asher B'Tzesadehu, B'Keser Maletena, I will buy it. Now, Gaon makes a very unbelievable deal here. When he says that I want to buy, how many times he says Meti ve'Echbera Meti? If you count, he says 7 times Echbera Meti. All of them, first he says, I bury my dead body. The last one, he says, the met I will bury. Therefore, 6 times he's buying a place. He's telling them 7 times, I bury my dead body. Last time he says, my dead body I will bury. The Gaon says, why is it like that? Because he's buying this place. This place is going to be 4 couples. 1 couple is there, Adam and Chava. 3 more couples are going to be there. These 3 couples are 6 times by Meti. In other words, in this place, I will bury 6 people here. No, by Sadiqim, you say Echbera Meti. Because I will bury when he dies. Now he's alive. And even after death also he's alive. Therefore, Echbera, we're going to bury. No, we know that the head of Esau also is buried here. Because Esau came to protest, and they blow his head half, and he went to the cave and they buried like there. Because to signify that Esau had a good head, but his heart, Zedon Lebecha Ishiacha. He was a great Talmid Chacham, his head was good, but he couldn't transfer what that was in his head, in his heart. Zedon Lebecha Ishiacha. In other words, the thoughts of your heart make you astray. Therefore, Esau also. Now, by Esau says, met first, and then I bury, because that's the thing that's the Rasha. Rasha is dead even while he's alive. Now, it's called Marad HaMachpelah. Why the HaKadosh Baruch Hu buried Adam Harishon Marad HaMachpelah? There is a halacha that when we bury somebody, we bury him in a way, there's a minhaj, that his foot should be toward the gate. Why? Because by Techiyat HaMetim, when he gets up, he should be straight to the gate, to come out, to go to the Gizrat Mashiach Tzidkenu, right? Then we make him ready to do that. Now, what do you think? Where did HaKadosh Baruch Hu bury Adam Harishon? In Marad HaMachpelah, the Midrash says Marad HaMachpelah was next to Gan Eden. In other words, even dead bodies there, they heard the music, they heard the noise of Gan Eden while they were there. The HaKadosh Baruch Hu used Marad HaMachpelah. The Marad HaMachpelah was a place that was close to Gan Eden. It's very interesting that to realize that Eretz Israel, most of it was conquered by milchama, by war. By sword. But 3 places was bought. One is Marad HaMachpelah for burial places, Avraham bought. Then Har Gerizim, Har Eval, Yaakov bought Mach Kesita from Shechem. And David HaMelech bought from Yevusi, bought the Garon, threshold of Bet HaMikdash, the place of Bet HaMikdash. There were 3 places were bought, and the other places was captured by sword. These 3 places, one's Marad HaMachpelah, that's Avraham bought. The other one is Har Gerizim, Har Eval, that Yaakov Avinu bought, and the third one is David Bet HaMikdash. Now Mefarshim say, why is it that these 3 places has to be bought, cannot be captured? Because these 3 places Hashem puts His Shekhinah. One is Marad HaMachpelah, the place of Menuch of Sadiqim. Place that the Sadiqim rest is the place that Hashem puts His Shekhinah. Bet HaMikdash Shekhinah, Har Gerizim Har Eval is the first place that they went to Israel, and the Levim were on the Zed, and there was a Kabbalat HaTorah, so like Kabbalat HaTorah. These 3 places Hashem wants to rest His Shekhinah. And the place that Hashem rests His Shekhinah cannot come about blood. Even though that's rightful, it's justified, but the fact that you kill people, you destroy people, right? Then, like David HaMelech told HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem, I have a complaint. Usually people have complaints. David also has a complaint. What's the complaint of people? Why did you do that to me? Why did you? David HaMelech told HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem, it's not fair. Why is not fair? Hashem said, why is not fair? I'm a king. I live in a palace, everything. And your house, you don't have a house. You have a tent. Mishkan. Mishkan is a tent. It's temporary. It's not permanent. No, that was the thinking. That was the not being fair of life in the perspective of David HaMelech. Hakadosh Baruch Hu told him that, David HaMelech, I appreciate. It's very interesting if you go through Navi. Hashem doesn't say right away you cannot build it. It goes through. He says, I appreciate your feelings. I know what you feel about. I understand. But you should know that Yadecha damim shafechu. Your hands shed blood, rightfully. But still you can't build up a Tamid. That's why by the Mizbeach we don't use iron, because iron destroys life, it's life. Therefore here also the same thing. These three places are places that HaKadosh Baruch Hu put his Shekhinah. And the place that Hashem puts his Shekhinah, we cannot have a place that is blood is shed. Ephron Yoshev betop hanechet. Ephron was sitting betop hanechet. Bayan Ephron Achiti et Avraham, and Yan Ephron Achiti Avraham beosrei benechet in the ears of benechet. Bechol ba'yishayil lemo. All of coming the case of this. In other words, Rambam tells us something, another interesting things. If you are dealing with somebody who is not acting like and properly, is a crooked person, don't deal with him privately. Because when you deal with him privately, then he could say this way, that way. He says, he gathered everybody to be there, to listen, that what is he saying? No, my master, listen to me. This way I gave to you, past tense. I have granted to you. Not that you didn't give yet. No, it's as if it's yours. And the cave that's inside I give you, go and bury your dead body. Avraham again saw a plot that he's making. He wanted to see a cruel person. He lets you do it. Once you bury it, then he says the price. Then you can't do anything. Avraham understood that. He told Ephron in the ears of Amoris, brother, if you would only listen to me, I don't want all of these, all of these ceremonies that you are saying, all the things that you are doing. I gave the kesef sadeh, you should take it from me. If you take the money and I buy actually from you, then I will bury it. If not, I'm not. The land is 400 shekel of silver. Beni ben chamahi, between me and you, what is it? It's nothing. Now the Midrash says, what is Beni Beni? Ben Avraham, what's the letter between Avraham? Resh. What's the letter between Ephron? Resh. Resh and Resh is 200, 400. It says, Beni ben Chamahi, what's between me and you? He brought the raya from the psukim and from everything, that 400 is the right price for this. And you should bury your, therefore he, Chachamim says, Vayishma Avraham le'Ephron, he listened to Ephron, Vayishma Avraham le'Ephron, and he waited for Ephron, very interesting, Torah says, Avraham listened. What is Avraham listen? Avraham said, the best thing for me is to give it money. Why? Because if I do any negotiation with him, then it's going to come back to me. He waited in case of the silver that he has to the He gave him 400 shekel, not only silver that he has, he gave him over asocher, that passes over to any merchant. In other words, that would be a money, the currency that's accepted all over. It's $1, he paid him something, not to make anything. Not to, Vayishkol Avraham le'Ephron. No, le'Ephron is different than any other Ephron that's written. See, to the Pasuk Tetzayim, Vayishkol Avraham el-Ephron, Ephron is with Vav, Vayishkol Avraham le'Ephron without Vav. Torah took away Vav from him. No, why? Why did Torah took away Vav from him?
From
Ephron. See, Vayishkol Tetzayim, Pasuk Tetzayim, Vayishkol Avraham le'Ephron. The first Ephron has Vav, second Ephron doesn't have Vav. Now, Chachamim tell us he took a Vav from him because he talked too much. He didn't do anything. Somebody who talks a lot and he doesn't do anything is diminishing himself. He's becoming, he's diminishing himself. He becomes baseless. He becomes somebody, destroys himself. He feels, in other words, somebody like him, he comes out and tells, I see such a chokhmah, such a wisdom. How do I talk to Abraham? What do I do? I said so much. I told him that, I'm going to do this and that for you, and see, I got $400. See, this is the chokhmah, this is the wisdom. But Torah tells us this is not the chokhmah. It's diminishing yourself. You take a vav from yourself. The Gemara says that if somebody does a chesed, does a kindness to somebody else, he gets 6 brachot. What brachot he gets? Now here we are. He could have done something to a satir, to have eternality, to get merit and zechut. Like every other place in Tanakh, we have a lot of goyim that they did nice things and they got the nice things. He could have gotten 6 brachot and he lost everything. Why? Because he talked too much and didn't do evenly there. And was established the field of Sefron, that's Machpelah, that's for Mamre, Hasade v'Hamara, the field and the cave that's in the side. All of the trees that is there, good friends makes good friend. Avraham, Levychaim, Lebenechet, Avraham, Levychaim purchase in the eyes of Benechet, for all over who came to the gate of the city. After that, Avraham, Sara, he made sure, he knew that with him, he has to make sure. Why? Because once he buried Sara, then he could say whatever that he wants, and he could abuse Avraham. Avraham Sara ishto, in the cave of Mamre, he Hebron, Bereskan, Vayogam Hasade Vamara, the Sada Amara, they got established Asher Bol Avraham, Vazar Met Benechet, from the children of Chet. Once there was a Jew that he became Goy. He was a really rich person in the city and became Goy. Now everybody eventually dies. He dies. And the children, they want to bury him in the Bekavarot of Jewish people. But the halacha is that we cannot bury, especially somebody Meshumah or a Rashi with the Sadiq together. They told the children, now the children came and they said the children are very influential people at the city, in the city, and they didn't know, the Rav didn't know what to do. The Rav thought a very good idea. The Rav told him that if you want to buy a kever here, it's that if the kever is, let's say, kever is $20,000, told them that the kever for you would be $200,000, something like that. They were very rich. And they had to say a price that they would refuse. And finally, he said, what? This is so expensive. He said, yes, this is the price. And they say, okay, let us think about it. They go and they find out that the real price for a grave is $20,000. How much money? They come to Rav and they tell him, Rav, the graveyard is $20,000. Why do you want so much money from us? He says, see, I tell you why I'm that. I'm fair. So I'm fair. See, all of these people that are buried here, all of them, they believe in Techiyat HaMetim, that the dead bodies are going to be revived. They pay rent till Techiyat HaMetim. Rent till Techiyat HaMetim is $20,000. But your father didn't believe in Techiyat HaMetim. He has to stay there forever. Rent forever is that much. For those that they live here, they believe in Techiyat HaMetim, they got that. But your father is there. Therefore, all of the shot over here is to bring out the concept of Kevura, concept of Hebron, Morat HaMachpelah, and the Kevura by the Halisai is very sacred. It's a place rest of Shekhinah, and that's a place that they're going to be till Techiyat HaMetim. Abraham was old, Baba Yomim, he coming with days, Hashem berachat Abraham bakol, and Hashem blessed Abraham bakol with everything. Now, why did it say Zigna? In other words, they say that the wife dies, the old age jumps on a person because of the death of his wife. That's a connection between Parashiot, Abraham Zaken Baba Yomim. Now, they say, that's one midrash. Another midrash says that the old age comes to a person suddenly because of 4 things. One is because of yira, because of fear. One is because of kas, because of anger. Or because of ishara, bad wife. Bad wife is, in a way, is good. Makes the person old, therefore he would get rid of the problem much faster. Maybe it's good. Milchama and war. Now they say, how come Abraham, Zichra jumped on him? What was it? It wasn't Avira, it wasn't. They say because of Ishmael, Kas. Because Ishmael went off, and that made Abraham to be concerned and to show the anger, whatever, and that made him Zichra. But another midrash says in a positive, no, Abraham talking Baba Yomim, he said there is a Zichra, there is the old age, that's not old, the person is not old. Or there is old, another person look old, but really it doesn't have age. Avraham Zochen Baba Yamim, it says that Zochen, he was old, he looked old, together, were together in the contrast. Now, the Midrash says, Zochen Baba Yamim, what does Baba Yamim mean? A person, when he goes to Olam Haba, all of the days of his life comes to him. Every day that he did mitzvah and there was a positive day, they come and become crowning him. And the day that was bad and he did a sin, they're gonna make him embarrassed, they're gonna hit him, they're gonna make him sad, pain for him. Now, Zochen Baba Yamim, Avraham came Baba Yamim with all of the days of his life. He didn't waste even one day. Shelah HaKadosh says from here, we learn out that the person should use every day of his life. Hashem berachat Avraham bakol. It's very interesting. What does it mean that Hashem blessed Avraham bakol with everything? Bakol. Now Rashi says, what does it bakol? Berachat Avraham bakol bechol ole v'gematria ben u'me'ach ha'shoel lo ben ha'yosarif lahasyo isha. In other words, bakol, if you count the numbers of bakol, becomes 52. 52 is the number of ben. Therefore, once he had a ben, he had to marry him off. That's the semichut of the parashot. Therefore, bakol means that he has the bracha of the son, because everything for Abraham was son, to create Am Yisrael, to make eternality for Kahal Yisrael, that they have eternality, and they should have the Kahal Yisrael should be leading forever, to be forever. That was the wish of Avraham bakol. Now it's very interesting. The Zohar HaKadosh says bakol means something else. What does bakol mean? Berachat Avraham bakol. Zohar says HaKadosh Baruch Hu has different midot that he treats with people. One midah, another midah. One of the midot, could you please give me a sidur? One of the midot of HaKadosh Baruch Hu is kol, bakol, kol. What does kol means? Kol means everything. It contains everything. It has everything. A person is not missing anything in his life. No, they say, what's Gehinnom? What's Gehinnom? Gehinnom is not a fire. Gehinnom is a fire of missing out. Person, when he goes to Olam Haba, he says, wow, I could have accomplished so much, I could have had so much, and I didn't accomplish, I didn't do that. That is the Gehinnom. The Gehinnom burns the person. Burning of the fact that you find out the truth. I could have done this, I could have done this, I could have not like the Midrash says, like people go to a cave and they tell them there's a diamond. Gather them. Some people gather, some people say, who cares? They're lazy, they don't gather. And they come out, now they say, wow, it was a real diamond, it was true. And the friends, everybody is using and getting benefit, and he doesn't get any benefit because he didn't gather anything. Therefore, he feels missed out. Miss out is the pain of Gehinnom. Now, in the Yotzer of Shabbat, we say, Yotzer Ubarechosh, V'Soshan Ubaret Hakol, Hashem created Hakol, then we say Hakol Yoducha, everybody admits to you or praises you, Hakol Shabucha, everybody praises you, V'Hakol Yomru, everybody says, En Qadosh Ki Hashem, Hakol Yomucha, everybody uplifting you, Selah Yotzer Hakol. Now, if you can't, we say 6 times Hakol. Boret Hakol, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 times we say Hakol in the Yotzer of Shabbat that we say right before Gerat Shema. Now, Mefarshim say, why do we say 6 times Hakol? What's Kol? Kol is the bracha of blessing of Hashem that includes everything. Kol means everything. Because everything that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created in the world has some type of blessing for a person. The greatest blessing is to be zoche to kol, because you are zoche to everything, and that's the surah of Shabbat. Shabbat gathers all of the 6 days of the week and gets a person to have the bracha of the 6 days of the week. That's why in the Yotzer we say Hakol 6 times, and this is the bracha that Avraham, our forefathers, got, and that's the bracha of Jews. Bracha of Jews is not the bracha that we could be localized or itemized. It's called. It contains everything. Whatever that HaKadosh Baruch Hu created in his Biriya, and that has some type of blessings, Jews have some part of it. They partake in it. They take it. Therefore, that's why the Jews are all over. That's why the Jews have nisyonot in all of the matters of life. and everything, because everything has to be discovered through Jews, and that's the beracha that Hakadosh Baruch Hu gave to Avraham Avinu. Avraham told his servant, the elder of his household, the one who controls everything that he has, please put your hand beneath of my thigh. No, why did he tell him like that? Rashi says somebody who swears he should hold the chefetz shel mitzvah in his hand, כגון ספר תורה או תפילין, והמילה הייתה המצווה הראשונה, לא ובעלה ידי סרבה הייתה החביב בעלה ונטרה. The milah was the first mitzvah that he had and came through pain, and it was endeared to Avraham. He told him, hold this brit milah and make a shavua. I will have you swear by Hashem, God of Shamayim, the God of Haaretz, that you should not take wife for my son, from the daughters of Kenani, that I'm dwelling in their midst. No, it's very interesting. Therefore, he felt that he might die soon. Therefore, he wanted to give a shavua to Eliezer to not to get. No, why didn't he give shavua to Yitzchak himself? Why should he give shavua to Eliezer? Unbelievable point. Abraham felt that these people are Kenani, they are krum. They know how to play with people. If he would give a shavua to Yitzchak, they would convince Yitzchak somehow. But Eliezer is from them. He knows their tricks. He knows what type of people they are. He knows what to deal with them. Therefore, he was the best person to deal with them and to make sure that's going to happen. Therefore, you should not go kill to my land, and my relatives go and should take a wife for my son for Yitzchak. Very good. Now, why does he prefer them than here? We're going to learn soon that over there, they're with Avodah Zarah, because Laban says, I'm going to empty out the house. Chazar said, what empty out the house? There was Avodah Zarah. No, why is he rather to go a family of Avodah Zarah? Avner, Eshkol, Mamre, all of these people, they're not with Avodah Zarah. Chedushei Ran. Ran says unbelievable point about marriage and shidduchim. Now, Ran says that when a person, in other words, the fathers, the parents of a person give offer to a child something. The person consists of mentally and physically. The taivot, the desires, the things of the body, the characteristics, a lot of them depends on the goof body. Mental is the way that the person thinks, not necessarily is genetically. The person has mind and he could think. Now, on Eshkol Mamre, they are physically cursed. Means the body man, Eshkol Mamre, Canaan was cursed. Nobody cursed them. Therefore, in the body-wise, they are cursed. Therefore, that they transfer to their own children. And you can't do anything about it. It's going to be there. Even mentally, we change them, but that physical sense is there. But by mishpacha, the physicality is good. The physicality, by mishpacha, the physicality is good. The only thing is that mentally, they are over Avodah Zarah. That mentally we could change it. Unbelievable yesod in life. Therefore, that shows, like Ran says, if you want to find a shidduch, you want to find something, middot raud are worse than emunah. Emunah could be fixed, could develop a person, could be teaching, we teach him. But somebody has a midah ra, somebody has a bad midah, and that story is all over. You learn stories all over that, it was a Agudah convention, they talked about the families that, that they had some type of shortcoming in the beginning, and that shortcoming went further and further and further, and they destroyed their family. Therefore, you see that they made that see how true the Torah is. I have a class in dating. I tell them to write from 1 to 10, and everybody writes what are the most important thing in dating. Say this, that. I tell them 1 is family, 2 is family, 3 is family, 4, 5, 6, 10 is family. Because from the good family, good fruits come about. However, maybe that girl, that lady would not wish to come after me. Should I take back your son to the line that I came out from there? Avraham told him, be careful. lest he touched with Benishama to return my son to there. Why? Rashi says, because it's Olat Temima. Because Yitzchak was like a korban cannot go out of Israel. Hashem Elokei Hashamayim. Hashem, the God of Shamayim. Asher Lekachani Bet Avi. That he took me from the house, my household. When he took me from household, it was the God of Shamayim. Because on earth they didn't know him. From the land of my birth, and spoke to me, and the one who swore to me, to your offspring, I will give all of this land. He should send his angel in front of you, and should take a wife for my son from there. Therefore, Avraham made a tefillah here that Rosh should be. If that lady will not wish to go to follow you, you're going to be released from my oath. Only my son, you should not return back there. David put his hand beneath of the Avraham as master, and swear to him, David took 10 gemalim camels, and he went, all of the goodness, wealth of his master in his hand, and he went to Aram Naharaim. Now the Farshim say, why 10 camels? 10 camels of the good, why 10? Now different Farshim, Asura the Bero, this and that, but Zohar HaKadosh says, he who knew that's going to see the Nahor, so Nahor is full of klipot of Tumah. Now the levels of Tumah is 10. Just like HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world with 10 sefirot of Tahara, there are 10 sefirot of Tumah. Therefore he took Asara Gemalim, 10 Gemalim loaded with Kedusha, with Tahara, to fight with all of this concept of Tumah. It's unbelievable. In other words, in city, we have 10 people learning, there are 10 people doing mitzvot, people are 10, Asara. When Asara are doing, then the city is a different city. They break down the klipot, they break down the tumah, and that creates the kedusha for the city. And the camels, they kneel down from the outside of the city, to the well of the water, at time of night, from the going out of the shu'avot, women going out to draw water. Now here, on the top of the mem, there is a very interesting zarka, trap. The trap is called shalshelet because it's like a chain. Shalshelet in Hebrew means chain. The name of this trap is chain. Now the way that you say is say vayomar. Now you make a chain. Now why do we do that? There are 7 times that we have this trap in Torah. You know the pasuk of Yud Bet vayomar on mem. 7 times in Torah, we are prolonging the trap. Now, why is it like that? Because in the way that we want it, we want to prolong what's happening. Because the Midrash says, when Eliezer came to there, the same day he got there. Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the nest for him to get there on the same day. Now he's saying, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now, Shidduchin starts from here. Now, Shidduchin starts from family first. After family, is what? Then it starts from here, davening and praying. Should daven and pray. If we daven and pray to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, says Hashem, that the nest that you did to me today, and you made me in one day to come as a nest to get to the city, please prolong your nest and help me out for the rest of the process also. You know, a lot of times, Zohar HaKadosh says, unbelievable point. Sometimes the person wants to do something, Hashem shows something to him, and becomes successful, little bit, in the process. Now what's going to do? What are you going to do? A lot of times the person says, okay, now on my own. You know, like somebody wants to learn how to ride a bike, you are holding him, he says, Abba, leave me. And he feels free and he does whatever that he wants. That is the Nisayah. A lot of times, even for the giving back the needles of the surgery, you need the help of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to help you to find the needles at the end. You can't fail, you are on your own. Therefore, that Zarkov chain means we need Siyata Dishmaya from A to Z. The Gemara says a person has to daven and pray for the last shower of the dirt or earth that they should put on him. Don't take anything as granted. Person needs in his life the last shower to be brought to him. After his death, a person has to daven for him. That's Shalshelet. Shalshelet means chain from A to Z. You have to daven And a lot of times, that's the Nisayon Sara Kadosh says. A person sees some type of sign, some type of success, then he becomes arrogant. Say, oh, I'm in control, I'm doing it, I know the, like the bike I'm driving myself. He says, no. In here, Eliezer stood. Ayomar, Hashem Eloki Adoni Avraham, Hashem, the God of my master Avraham, Hagrena Lefanai Hayom. Cause it to happen, please, in front of me today. Very interesting. Why should you say Hakre? Hakre is the word of Amalek. Mikri. What do we want him to say Mikri? Why should it be Mikri? It tells HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem, Hakrena lefanai hayom. You make it happen like a Mikri that I should see your hand. I should see that you are doing it. Then I understand. If it's a normal way, I don't understand. Somebody, Rabbi Donner was here, was talking something very interesting, something that happened in Harnov. The story of tragedy of Harnov. They came and they butchered Mamash, some Jews. And there was a Jew there that was in the balcony, and these people, they shot him 3 times. And some of them he missed, some of them he got, and stayed alive. Finally, he stayed alive. They shot him 3 times. It was in the balcony. Some people, they were there and they killed them. Now, this person that was there, and he was shot 3 times, and he got stayed alive, he goes to the Menachem Ovel for the wives of the ladies that, they lost their husband. The husband, Mamash, was butchered. And once he came to one of the ladies said that you gave me the greatest nechama. And he was shocked. He says that I didn't say anything. What do I do? How do I give you the greatest nechama? What's the greatest nechama? He said, no, you gave me greatest. But what? He said, when I heard your story, see what happens. You got 3 shots. That any of them could have killed you. And you are here. You are here. What do we see from here? What do we see? We see the if it's natural way, how come you got 3 shots and you are alive, you are here, and others didn't get any shot, nothing, they died, they killed them. Therefore, you were more fertile to be killed, to be destroyed, and you weren't. Maharal said, HaKadosh Baruch Hu sometimes he does things in a very strange way that everybody should realize it's the hand of Hashem. Realize that is HaKadosh Baruch Hu, out of normality. Here Eliezer says, Hakrena lefanai hayom. It caused it to happen. V'aseh chesed adon Avraham, and you do chesed to my master Avraham. Unbelievable. It's the chesed that you do. You don't deserve it. Avraham doesn't deserve it. Isaac doesn't deserve it. And moreover, I don't deserve it. It's because of my master Avraham. Now I'm standing by the spring of the water. Chayei, the daughters of the people of the city, they go out to draw water. And should be that the girl that I tell her, tilt, please, your jug, and I will drink. And she says, okay, drink. And also your camels I will water. Who asked that? She volunteered for that. Here you have designated for your servant Yitzchak, and through her let me know that you did kindness with my master. Hannah Aaron really needs hair, but doesn't have hair because to show Na'ar means zealous. With zealousness she did whatever that she did, and okay, and he before he had finished to speaking, Rivka comes out, that she had born for Betuel, then Milka, Sara Milka, Isha Nachor, Levychaim of Nachor, Achi Avraham, V'chada al Shichma, and her jug is on her shoulder. Now, if you notice, Yotzet is without Vav. In Rivka, Yotzet. Yotzet usually has Vav. Here he has a Vav. The Midrash asks, why is it without Vav? Right? Why is it without Vav? No, because that day, every day, they wouldn't send Rivka by herself. Because they would say she's a young girl, she didn't go by herself close to night. They should go very another late Erev, says late Erev. But that day, they send her out by herself. Who does that? HaKadosh Baruch Hu does that. That all of the master plan of the Beriah does it on that day. So that the Vav is not here to show that that day was different. No, when Rivka Yotzed, the Midrash says, what means Yotzed? Should say Rivka Ba. Rivka came. I said Yotzed. The Midrash says, really Rivka didn't want to go out. Hashem sent her out. Yotzed. Understand? The people are saying that Rivka should say Rivka is coming. Actually, is coming, not going out, should say coming to the place. Why say go out? Now the Midrash says that really Rivka didn't want to go out. Hashem said, that's shidduchim. No, things happen. I remember that there was a lady that on Friday afternoon was cutting vegetables for Korma Sabzi, and she cut her finger. They cut vegetables in Iran, I remember they cut it very small, and she cut the finger. She went to hospital. What happens? The doctor that did the stitches didn't that just make stitches for that occasion, make a permanent stitches with her. They got married together. They were all life. That happens. It's a mikri. The Apostle Baruch Hu makes things to happen, and that is this parasha is parasha of shidduchim. If you want to know the parasha of shidduchim, you have to learn this parasha of it. And that Nara was extremely beautiful. Betula, she was virgin. And the man didn't know her. Now with virgin, obviously, man didn't know her. Rashi says that the daughters of Canaan, they were corrupted. They wouldn't lose their virgin, but they were with the men from the back. And she went down to the spring. And she filled up her jug, and she came up. The Eved ran in front of her. Give me to swallow, please, little bit water from your jug. Please drink Adoni. And she hurried, and she brought lowered down her jug, on her hand, and she made a drink, and she finished to giving him to drink. And she said, voluntary. She said, also for your camels I will draw water. At 10 camels is a lot of water. And she hurried and she poured out Kadah, her jug, to the Hashoket, to the Shoket, the water place. And again she went to the Be'er Shol to draw water. And she draw water for all of his camels. Now Torah changes. Till now, who was this man? Who was this man till now? Eved. Now Eved turned to Ish. The Ish was astonished at her. Maharish Ladat. She kept quiet. He kept quiet Ladat to this. Hashem Darkoim Lo. Hashem would be Matzia, would succeed his derech or not. After that she finished to give water to all of the camels. This man again is not the Eved anymore, it's Ish. He took Nezem nose ring, Zahav gold, Beka Mishchalo. Beka is the weight, Ushne Semidim, and 2 bracelets, Al Yadeh on her hand, Asara Zahav, 10 gold shekels, Mishkalam their weights. Very interesting. Therefore he did, and then he asked, "Why will bat miat? The daughter of me or you? Hagidin Ali, tell me. Hayesh bet avich makum lanun. You have a place to rest, to stay overnight." Now it's very interesting. First he gave the gold and then asked. Now when he told the family, he said that I asked first and then. Rashi says, why did you do that? Because the family should not say that there's something fishy here. Now it's very interesting. Now here we're seeing that the Torah tells us he gave gold. And he gave the mishkal of the gold and everything. In other words, it seems that shidduch is from here. How many carats, how much, how big the diamond is, everything comes from here. Now listen to Torah and understand what we are talking about. Torah says, why did Torah say that beka mishkalo? Nose ring was beka mishkalo. Listen to Rashi. Rashi chafet. Beka remes leshichle Israel beka legulgole. In other words, we have such a concept like the Harisoi that during Korbanot, how do we pay for Korbanot? Each person has to pay Beka, Chatzi Shekel for Korbanot. Chatzi Shekel that we collect. Therefore, here we are giving a hint to her that do you know you are going to a family that the beka for Golgolet for Korbanot. And Shnei Semidim, Remez Shnei Luchot Misadot. Two bracelets, Semidim. Semidim means bracelets, Semidim also means pair. That's two luchot that they were paired. Therefore, Semidim refers to two luchot. Maharal says that the Mishnah says the Olam is built on Torah, Avodah, Gemurot Chasadim. On Gemurot Chasadim, it's very tangible, it's very emotional. We tested her in very daily basis of life. Does she have or not? Then we tell her that if you have only Hesed, you end up like reform movements, Sinai, and this and that, and the end of Judaism. Jews have three Yesodot. One Yesod is Chesed. The other Yesod is Korbanot. Our connection with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we have to bring Korbanot. Be'ka Mishkalo. Nezem Zahav was Be'ka Mishkalo. And then two bracelets is Torah. Then we have Chesed, Avodah, and Torah. All of them is Bazinte to Rivka. Now the question is, first of all, why should it be
10 gold can you get?
10 gold means 10 dibrot. That's what it is. To Shnei Semidim, two bracelets, two tablets of two luchot and Semidim. Now the question is, why should it be remez through gold and jewelry? Very interesting. If Torah wants to tell us it's chag, right? It's that Semidim bracelet. They give bracelet because of that. Why do we give? Why? First of all, in shidduch like Yitzchak, one would think that Islam is that din. It's shidduch. There is no jewelry. What? Who gives jewelry? Who gives? You are marrying, a ben Torah, somebody who learns, and you appreciate his learning. Is his Torah? Torah says, don't make a mistake. Every lady, no matter what it is, you have to do jewelry. You have to do these things. These are part of the essence of life. When Torah says that, they say that on every moed you have to buy a piece of jewelry for your wife, this and that, it's real. It's not Bob and my say, it's real. It has to be, Torah says. Now, why Torah gives us the remez as the jewelry? It's very interesting. Torah wants to say, just like jewelry creates some type of happiness and joy for the wife, when you give over Torah and Avodah to your wife, you have to give them in the pleasantness of jewelry. You have to make it that pleasantness, that beloved, that dedication, not with the toughness and with being harsh. No, that pleasantness create for them. I had a friend from Los Angeles when I was in Baltimore. He had 6, 7 kids and used to come to yeshiva for 2 weeks, 10 days. I told him, how come you come to yeshiva from Los Angeles, you come here to learn? What happens to your wife and children? You have 7 children. He told me that my wife tells me that whenever that I go and learn Torah, I become a much better husband. I become much better father. It's worth it. The investment is worth it. The investment is worth it. This is the parasha. When you inject Torah and when you inject the Torah with the harshness, with things that doesn't work. When it comes beka, when it comes semidim. Another thing is that just like for a lady, on the note of a lady, just like jewelry is important, Torah should be important. The avodah should be important. That's the job that we have to do. We will batmiat. تداد آگینا لیایش به تابیخ مغلانون و یوتو مرلا بعد به تو نانوخی ام تداد را به تو بل میلکا شرا دارنا و تو مرلا گم تم گم اسپور روانو we have straw we have fodder رویمان را تو دست گم مقام لانون and the place to stay و یهود اشتا و یشتاق لاشم ibadon and sudan و یومر باروخ هشم. Now when you do something, your mission is accomplished, then what do? From here we learn out, we have to think about HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Don't give credit to yourself. Give Odah to Hashem. I tell you something else. Very important point. A lot of times, we are not that bad. We give Odah to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But mentally, internally, we give credit to ourselves. For example, you do something, and you give HaKadosh Baruch Hu did, you give Odah and everything Hashem did, this and that. Now somebody would come and make a statement to you, make a comment to you, make something that, it seems that you don't have that much credit for that. You blow your fuse. What? You think that I didn't do anything? All I did. If I wasn't there, this wouldn't have happened. Didn't you see You don't have eyes to see. You don't understand. Then what type of Seudat Huda was it? You just told us in that Seudah that everything HaKadosh Baruch Hu did. If everything Hashem did, how come you are becoming so frustrated from that statement? It was a very funny statement made for you. Therefore, we have to mean it. We have to know. Yomer Baruch Hashem, bless God, Elokei Adoni Avraham, the God of my master Avraham, Hashem lo asar chasto, that he didn't leave his chasto, kindness and emet, meim Adoni for master, Anochi Bader and Ochani Hashem. I was in there, lead Hashem, with Achi Adoni, the house of the brother of my master, Kafcher, Vataro Satanara, and Nara run, Bataki Levychaim, and she told the Betimah, the household of her mother. The Rashi says that the girl goes to the mother. All of these things, events, Rivka, Achu Shmo Lavan. Rivka had a brother, and his name was Lavan. Baruch Lavan el Haish. And Lavan ran to the Datman Hakutz outside to the spring. And it was Kirot et Nezem. Torah is testifying. When he saw the Nezem, nose rings, Semidim bracelets, Alidei Achoto on the hands of his sister, Ushamoy Divrei Rivka, and he heard the words of Rivka Achoto Lemor, Kol Divrei Haish, Vayom el Haish Sheine, and he came, that man came, and he came to the man, he was standing next to the camels, to the spring, next to the spring. Vayomer Bo Baruch Hashem. And Lavan told him, Bo, come Baruch Hashem, bless Hashem. Lama Tamud Bachutz. I made the house empty. Rashi says, Ma'abodat Kochavim. They were the idols at home. He emptied out, and we made place for the camels. The man came to the house by and he opened the Gemalim. See, still is Haish. And he gave Teven, straw, and mispo, and fodder, like Gemalim to the camels, Umayim Lirchos, like Rab, and water to wash their feet, and the food of the Anoshim with him. Vayusam lefanav leechol, and they put in front of him to eat. I don't eat. Adim kibarati, they were to fish by that. Vayomer David, they said to speak. Now, Vayusam, it's written and it's written. There are two ways. One way that was written, one way that we read it, because the food was put in front of him, but the Malach came and changed it, because they put poison, they wanted to kill Eliezer. Malach came and changed it. He said, I don't speak this. He said, no. Imagine a vice president going someplace and he make a very good presentation. They are very happy with it. Now he wants to talk. What will he say? I'm working for this company for 20 years. Baruch Hashem, I know the things. I'm on the board. If you need any help, any assistance, I'm here. I'm the man of the show. But listen to his Vayomer Eved Avraham Anochi. He didn't get any credit for whatever that he did. He says, servant of Avraham, I am. No, he goes through all of this story again. All of the story that what happened, he tells over. Now Rashi says, I can't understand. Sometimes, seqila, to give somebody seqila, we learn from a drasha, from a letter here, there, and this parasha, 2-3 pages, is being repeated one more time. Few times. Rashi says, why is it like that? Rashi says, unbelievable poem. He says that in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yofe sichatan shiravdi avod, see pasuk membed, Amar bichachal lefish sichatan shiravdi avod, lifnei makom b'toratan shel banim. Shari parashat shel Yisrael kifula b'Torah, v'arei gufei Torah natola b'remisa. Yofe sichatan shiravdi avod. It's beautiful. It's Yofe. It's nice. The words of the servants of the forefathers in front of Hashem, mitoratan shel banim, from Torah of the children. From Torah of children. Shari parashat shel Yisrael kifula Torah. Now, what's the Torah of the children? If Torah of children is information of Torah, why? You learn the information of Tumah B'Tahara, you learn information of Korbanot, you learn the information of Nezikin, you learn information of Kedushin, Gittin. Why this information is nicer in front of HaKadosh Baruch Hu? Hashem loves this more than that. Because the mark of Torah is what? Is afterwards. At the end of the day that you learn Shabbat, you learn Kedushin, you learn Baba Kama, at the end of the day, what is expected from us? To submit ourselves to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Submission is the mark of Torah. Now here, you find submission. You find that this Eved Avraham Anochi. Therefore, this fact of submission is not getting any credit for himself. This is the great mark of Torah. Hashem berech Adonai b'amot. And Hashem blessed my master a lot by Gdal and became great, and gave him sheep, cattle, silver, gold, and slaves, and maidservants, and camels, and donkeys. Pasuk Lamed Vav. Vateret Sara, Sara, wife of my master, gave birth to a son to my master after she had grown old, and he gave to him whatever that he had. And my master gave me shuvah, saying, "Lo tikach, you should not get a wife for my son from the daughters of Canaan, and that I'm sitting in his country. Imlo el betabit, to my household, my father's household, you should go, and my family, and get a wife for my son." I told my master, maybe that lady would not come after me. Now here is very interesting. Ulai is written without vav. Take a look at Pasuk Tet. Ulai, the first Ulai that is said to Avraham is with vav. This Ulai that is repeating is without vav. Now Rashi say, why is it without vav? Elai ketiv. Don't read it Ulai, Elai. But I told Eliezer, he had his own daughter, and he wanted to marry off his own daughter to Yitzchak. Therefore, when he says that maybe that girl doesn't want, what is she doing? She's bringing stumbling. She's bringing obstacle. Now, she realized that when she says this, because she was biased. When he says ulai, really subconsciously, she said ulai, but subconsciously she thought elai. Really is making that excuse to make Avraham not to consider that and say, okay, Avraham said, okay, you are right, maybe that would happen. I want your daughter, let's marry your daughter. That's why she says ulai. Now, the Drasha of Torah is not first time when Eliezer told Avraham. The Drasha of Elai ulai is second time when Eliezer is talking to the relative of Rivka. Now the question is, when should it be this Drasha? This Drasha should be in the first place when he told Avraham ulai, not when he's repeating everything to the relatives. How come the Drasha is here? Before she explained unbelievable yesod in Torah. In other words, the Drasha is on second time. Why? Because here, by second time, that he saw all of the miracles of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and he saw how HaKadosh Baruch Hu made the way for Abraham. Now it became clear for him at that time when he said ulai, really subconsciously he meant elai. He realized that he shouldn't have said it. It was just an excuse. When did he realize? Afterward, not at that time. At that time he felt it's very justified. He's making a point, very clear point for Abraham. But after that he saw everything and everything was said, he realized that when he said ulai was not right, was wrong, was biased. A lot of times a person is biased for something he doesn't realize. He feels that he's making a strong statement. When you see the Yad of Hashem, you see what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants, you say, oh, Hashem is right. Yom Eloi, and told me Hashem, Hashem, that we went in front of him, and you will successful, you will make you successful in your way, and you should get a wife for my son, from my family, and from the household of my father. Then you're going to be released from my oath. Kitab will come to my family, and you should be released from my oath. I came today, not Hayom. All three was there. And I said, Hashem, Eloki Adonai Avraham, the God of Master Avraham, if you make successful my way that I'm going upon it, so I'm standing by the spring of water, the girl that comes out, and I tell her, my wife should give me a water from the jug, and she said, drink, and I pull your camels, I will draw. That's the lady that you designated for the son of my master. Pasuk Memhe, before finishing my speaking to my heart, Rivka came out, and her jug was in shoulder, and she went out to spring, and she drew water, and she hurried, and she lowered down her jug, from her, and told me, drink, and also for your camels I will give to drink. And I drank, and my camels also drank. I asked, here it changes. First he asked and they gave. And I put the nose ring on her nose and the bracelet on her hand. and I bow down and Hashem, and I bless HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the God of my master Avraham, that he guided me on the derech and truth, and to give back Achiyad, the brother of my master, for his son. No, if you want to do kindness and truth to my master, if you do, I will turn to Yamin and Semor. Rashi says Yamin and Semor is Benet Ishmael and Benot Lord. Vayan Lavan Betuel Vayamru. Lavan and Betuel, they said, Vayan is singular, Vayamru is plural. Now, why is it Vayan is singular, Vayamru Lebron? Lavan Betuel. Why Lavan is before Betuel? Rashi says, why is Lavan with Rasha Haya? The Qafas Rashi of Avi. He was the Rasha and he answered before Avi. Unbelievable. Lavan, right? Lavan Pesarish, right? Pesarish, جلو به پدرش صحبت میکنه.
بتول برادر چیز بوده برادر ابراهام. بتول نسبتش با ابراهام چی بود؟
نه، بتول پسر برادرش.
پسر برادرش بود.
پسر برادر زادش بود. Here, right? Here we are. Unbelievable point in Torah. Torah wants us. Lavan is the Rasha. Where should we find the issue of Lavan? When he wanted to kill his grandchildren, when he came after Yaakov to destroy everybody, when he changed his things 10 times, when he did so many crucial points, or he talked in front of his father. A lot of people talk in front of the father. It's not such a terrible thing, but it seems, no? He says, Rasha Haya. Why Lavan was a Rasha? He spoke before the father. Lavan is much greater than that. Come on. Speaking in front of father is not such a great deal. Torah tells us, no, don't make a mistake. Don't make a mistake. The fact that she doesn't realize priority, he doesn't understand the order in life. He doesn't understand there is the authority of the father, that in front of the father he shouldn't talk. He should have the respect and majesty of the father. The Recheres. That made him to be Lavan Harasha. That's the reshut. Don't make a mistake. They understand the priority, they understanding the importance. That makes all the difference. Now, if you notice at the end of the parasha, also pasuk tet at the end, when Avraham died, the Torah says that Isaac and Ishmael, they buried him. First Isaac and then Ishmael. Rashi says, how come Ishmael is after Yitzchak? Ishmael is older than Isaac. Ishmael Teshuvah. From here we see that Ishmael did Teshuvah. How do you see that he did Teshuvah? Maybe in the ceremony he sent Isaac first. No. If you realize priority in life, you submit yourself to the higher authority. To understand that makes you a satir. Not to understand that makes a person Rasha. From Hashem came down. From here we learn out that the shidduchim is from Hashem. Don't look at the can say bad or two. He nearly got lefanecha kach valech. But say Yishal ben Abadonim. Hashem Hashem says, "Vayik Hashem ma'ibed Avraham et Ibrahim. Vayishtach and bowed down to Hashem. Vayitzayev kelekesef. And he brought the vessels of silver and gold and garments and King Gevra umiktanot and delicious fruits gave to Achia Urema, to the brother and the mother. What about the father? Father was gone. Because Rashi says, Midrash says the food poison, or Rashi says that the father wanted to be Ma'akev and Hashem killed him. Hashem removes all of the obstacles in front of him when he wants to do something. And they drank and they ate and drank. And they stayed overnight and in the morning send me. Her brother and her mother, Teshav and Araitan, which is a year or 10 months, and then go. Don't make me delay. Hashem made me successful in my way. Send me while I should go to my house. We're going to call her, we're going to ask her. From here we learn out that you cannot force your children to get married. That's the worst thing that you could do. Marriage has to come as natural phenomena that grows in a child. Of course, we could encourage them and talk to them about marriage. But to force a child to marry is not that. From here we know that Shana. They with krum. They didn't ask whether you want to go or not. They say, what? You want to go with this servant? Of course not. But she said, I want to go. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants something to happen, it happens. And they send Rivka Achotam with Timnakitata and her nurse with Avraham. David Avraham with Anashim, Vaybarech Rebekah, and they blessed Rebekah. They said, Achotenu, your sister, Hayil Elfi, you should be thousands and 10,000, and your children, offspring, should inherit Shar son of the gate of Sara. They said that the bracha that Moshe gave to Avraham should come to him. And they rode on the camels, and they went to Rebekah, and they went. I saw Bobby Bor, and Yitzchak came from having gone Be'er Lachai and he came from the well of Be'er Lachai Roi. Be'er Lachai Roi is the bear that, who is there? Hagar. The well, Lachai, in the Hagar, was sent out by Sara, and Sara annoyed her, and she sent her out because of the Ishmael was not dealing, first time and 2 times. Now, she went to a bear, and he told Chayei Olamim to HaKadosh Baruch Hu Roi, see my affliction, see my suffering, my things. Now, what did Yitzchak do? Yitzchak said that after the death of Sara, it's not good that she'd be accuser for a Sara. Because she's saying, Be'er Lachai Roi, Pro Olamim Roi, see? She went and she brought her for Avraham. So interesting that the son is thinking about the father, and the father is thinking about son. Father sent Eliezer to marry Yitzchak, and Yitzchak is going to Be'er Lachai Roi to bring Hagar back for Avraham.
Why did he go back?
What? Hagar?
No. Yitzchak want to bring Hagar back?
Yes, Hagar back, yes. To take away the accuser against Sara. Esau went to pray by Sadeh in the field before evening. That's Mincha. Yitzchak established the field of Mincha. She saw Yitzchak, and she fell from the camel. She fell from the camel because she saw the majesty of such a holy person that she became overwhelmed so much that she fell.
She passed out or she fell?
She fell from the camel. Who is this man? Who Adoni? Who is my master? And she took the saif well, and she covered herself.
Bring back Hagar?
What? Yes. And the Eved servant told Yitzchak all of this story. Mashrasa that by and Yitzchak brought her to tend Sara imo. Sara is his mother. And he took Rivka and became his wife. He liked her. And Yitzchak got confirmed after death of his mother. Now it's very interesting. It says that they brought Rivka to Sara imo. Rashi says, what means Sara imo? Because as long as Sara was alive, the nair was lit for a week from Erev Shabbat to Erev Shabbat. And the blessing was Mitzvah in the Isa in the knee, and the Hananei Kavod was there. Once Rivka came, everything got bad. Therefore, you see what a lady presents at home, what he brings, and it's very interesting also. Torah says, what came first? The wife became a wife, and he loved her, or he loved her, and he became his wife. No. Torah says that if this person loves somebody, we are not so sure becomes his wife or not. But if he becomes his wife, then he's going to love her. Before night, he went to daven, that's Siflat Mincha. In the Sade also, in other words, by Yosef Avraham Yitzchak Shma Geturah, Yosef Avraham and Yitzchak Shma Geturah. Now Rashi says Geturah, what's Geturah? That's Hagar. Now why Hagar is called Keturah? Keturah has 2 meanings. One Ketoret, because her maisin was nice like spices that you bring in front. When you bring Ketoret, Yom Kippur. Ketoret represents Teshuvah. Because last week we learned that Hagar, when they sent Hagar, Vatetah Bamidbar. We learned over there that she went after Avodah Zarah, back to Avodah Zarah. Now she did Teshuvah. Once she did Teshuvah, became like a Keturah in the mother, like the Yom Kippur of Teshuvah. Keturah means another thing of tying up, it's called Qatar. Tying. She tied herself up, she wasn't with any man, nothing, and she stayed clean. Because of that, Hashem liked it. Now, Avraham took her back. Now, in Avraham, we have Yitzchak, main child, and we have 2 series of children. One children before Yitzchak, that's called Ishmael, and another children after Yitzchak, that's called Keturah. Now Torah goes through the children after Yitzchak. Zimran, she gave birth to him Zimran. Simron Chazal says Zemer, he was singing for Avodah Zarah. Unfortunately, didn't come out good children. With Yakshan, Kashe made his heart Kash Hashem, Medan with Midian, Din, the judge Akodesh Baruch Hu, with Ishbat, they left Hashem, with Shubach, with Yakshan, Yerad the Sheba, with the Don, with the Don Yav Hashem, with Tushim Hashem, and from there, from Ashur to Shem Romim, who named Midian, Efa, whatever, Bachanu, Abidabil Da, Kolebenet, all of them Reketura. Right there, Avraham with Kasher Yitzchak, Avraham, whatever that he gave to Yitzchak, while he was alive, he didn't want to make any fight. From here, we learn out that's very important to make a right will for the children, not to make fight with them. We live in Apilashtim, and the children of Rashi and Avraham, not an Avraham, Machtonot, he gave them all of the gifts, whatever that he got from the Goyim, from the Paro, from all of them, he gave it to them, so they don't want. And they said from eastward, Eretz Kedem, east. So interesting. Now, east we find Chinese, Japanese that are very far from Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Some before him say from here, because he sent them away. He saw that if they are around Yitzchak, it's not good. It's not good for Yitzchak. They're gonna make Yitzchak go straight. Therefore, Vele Yemeshin Chayei Avraham, it's actually Chayei Ma'at Shana, 170 and 175, and Avraham died b'Sevatova, with the old age, was good, Zaken, mature, Saveya, content. What would that says? And he gathered to his nation means what's that? They buried him his children. That so the field that Avraham bought over there was Kubar, was buried Avraham Sara ishto. Vayacharem od Avraham, vayvarech Elohim Yitzchak, Hashem gave Yitzchak, vayeshev Yitzchak ber lachai roi. Yitzchak is ate by ber lachai. No, why Avraham the Rashi says, Afash was Hakadosh Baruch Hu et Abrachu LaAvraham nitiyar levarech Yitzchak mipnei shesav va'edesav yotzei menu. So next time by Yitzchak we had a problem. Who should he give bracha to? Esav Yaakov. Now Avraham, I was afraid to give bracha to Yitzchak because of the Esav that's coming. Let's say Hashem should come on this side. No, we're going to go very to Lord Ishmael. The children of Ishmael, Avraham, Asher God, Hamisid, that gave her Hagar, Mitzvah Shivchat Sara, Midamsal Avraham. Vele Shmoden Ishmael, Bishmotam, Ledotam, Dam. These are their names and their offspring. You know, it's very interesting, Shemotam. Because Bnei Ishmael are very proud of their names. Why? Because they want to stick to Avraham. Say, we are children of Avraham. They want to get the pride of Avraham. Bishmotam. Ledotam, Bechor Ishmael. The Bechor of Ishmael Nevayot. Bechor is without Vav, means that he wasn't established. Gedar ve'atber u'misam u'mishma ve'duma u'masa. Avraham, Rambam wrote a note 900 years ago, and he said from the names of the Ishmael, we see how should we deal with Ishmael. Says the Pasuk of Yudalet, u'mishma ve'duma u'masa. How do you deal with Ishmael? Like the Pasuk says, Pere Adam. This is Adam Pere, it's the wild, Adam that's wild. It's wildness is part of his essence. By the way, it's Adam. Therefore, by Ishmael, there's no regulation, there's a wildness. When it's wild, there's no regulation. You cannot talk, you cannot communicate, you cannot make a contract between them. Now, Mishma means listen to them. Once you listen to them, what should you do? Duma, keep quiet, because you can't do anything. Any type of communication doesn't help. Masa, they're going to make life unbearable for you. Just bear it. Masa. Rambam says 900 years ago, the Pesukim are saying, the only way that we could deal with Ishmael is Mishma, Duma, Masa. Listen, keep quiet, Umasa. No, once, Masa means bear. Just bear it. Bear it. But how much one? Nothing there. Now, if you do that, then Chadat, how said our says, Zochel etachlet beTorah. Somebody who does that, Chadat becomes sharp. Chadat chad sharp in Torah. Tema, then he would say Amim in Torah. Tema means saying. He would say reasons in Torah. If you accept the decree of Hakadosh Baruch Hu, Yetur velo od ela shezoch elishmor. He watches. Yetur means watching. He would watch the Torah. He could keep Torah inside. Nafish is Torah. His mitzvah becomes extended a lot. That was given from Kedma, from Kedem. Elehem ben Ishmael. These are the names bechatzrem in open cities with Rutam strongholds. 12 Nesim came out from Rutam. It's 137 years Ishmael lived. Ishmael also did Teshuvah, and he died by Yosef Elamam and got to Session. They dwelt from Chavira at Shur. Ashipine Mamre from Mitzrayim. Bu'achat Tilkam in Ashura. Al Pene Kolechav Nafal. In front of all of his brother, Nafal. What does Nafal mean? Dwell. Nafal means he lived. But Nafal also means falling. Now the Baal HaTurim says, Ele told of this Ben Avraham, Yitzchak, these are the told of Yitzchak that Mashiach comes from Esau, at the time of Mashiach would be nafal, would be downfall. Right now it's dwelling. But when Mashiach comes, therefore one of the remazim of Mashiach is that at the time that Mashiach comes, the kingdom of Ishmael would fall down. And that would be one of the secrets of coming